You accept that you probably earned some respect by the way you fought that game out?
Oh, that's for others to decide upon. I guess the point I made is that it's a very slippery slope when you start being satisfied with the loss. So, I recognise the energy and the effort that was put in by our players tonight. But at the same time, we look at that and we say, yes, it's probably an improvement on the previous 2 weeks, but there's still a lot of improvement that we can continue to make. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, it's in terms of some of the statistics. Look at that. We dominated the clearances. We had more inside 50s, but that was probably the downfall. Our execution, our ability to be able to finish our play. Some of that is credit to Geelong, the pressure they put us under. But some of it we could have done better.
Was it too cute and sometimes again that long bombing with no real target to aim for?
Oh no, I just think we just lacked a little bit of composure at times. Yeah, well, I'll call it composure, and some of that as well is, if you look at the profile of our side, I think we had, I'm not sure, you might want to check up on this, but 13 or 14 guys with 40 games or less, and I think they had the same number, 13 or 14 guys with 150 games or more. So, when games are really tight, that's when you start to see that difference come out. And, they've got, a really experienced side that have played a lot of finals football. And, at times there was some finals-like intensity out there, and they were able to think their way through some tight situations a bit better than what we did.
So what do you think you gained? You gained the thought of you rebuilding that competitive trademark, you're showing you can hang in games. What else?
Yeah, well, I think it gives the players a lot of belief that the direction we're heading in is a good direction in terms of, Geelong coming into this game, really good form all year, been one of the standout teams, and for us to be able to, as you mentioned, be really competitive and I guess play a style of footy that was attacking. It wasn't us playing safe and trying to restrict them. We were trying to to score and be really positive in the way we played. And I thought the players, for most of the night, were able to execute that. But there's some times when we didn't do it well enough.
Rory Sloan tonight said that the Crows are learning to stay strong when the opposition begins to surge at them. Is that something you're saying?
Yeah, well, I was pleased in the second quarter. It started to get a little bit ugly in terms of consecutive goals. I think they kicked 3 or 4 in a row. And once again, it's really difficult in football when a team gets momentum to be able to halt that. And sometimes the quarter comes to an end and it saves you. Other times you need to try and put some measures in place to do it. And I guess it was we tried a few things, but mainly the competitive spirit of the guys and their ability to push back, I guess. We end up scoring a really good goal late in the quarter where it was a length of the ground transition, really attacking play, and then that one goal can just turn the momentum. And I thought full credit to our guys to be able to do that.
You've seen it for a while. There's those what-if moments. What if Adel marriage? That was a set shot. What if Aiden Riley? That was a set shot. What if Graham jumped off at the last one? What's missing there?
Look, I think you just nailed it. It's if, buts and candy nuts. Who knows? What if Ivan had to kick this goal? There's so many other instances that unfold, and those instances will change because of the nature of the game. I guess all I'll say is that our players need to be exposed to really tight games and those type of situations. So that it's like anything: the more you get exposed to them, the more comfortable you feel when you get placed in those positions, and hopefully the better decisions you make. So, as I said earlier, we've got the profile of our squad is quite young, so a lot of guys wouldn't have been exposed to to some of the pressure that was out there tonight. So, really pleased with Sean McKernan and Daniel Talia, both really young guys playing in key position roles against once experienced, mature age guys, and were outstanding. So. That's full credit to them to be able to stand up in that heat.
What have you added into that information file about assessing the struggle from tonight's game?
That it's pretty ruthless. You think you do a lot of things right, but you end up not getting the result you want. So it's disappointing. But I prefer to talk about the players. They're the ones that were that performed tonight. They're the ones that put themselves, more often than not in the right position and tried to execute what we set out to do.
It's $1 million question now. Why can you get that out of them and get these results for the last 3 weeks when it's not a massively different squad, it's actually less experienced and they've just wandered through the year without any result?
Yeah, look, it is an interesting one, and I guess different stimulus has different results, and it's not something that I have the complete answer for. We've seen it, before with coaches changing. We've made some slight changes, but it's I guess sometimes something needs to change for people to stop and take stock of the situation. And credit to the players, they took stock of the situation. They were prepared to actually look at themselves, because in the end, that's the only way we can get a response, is if players actually change their behaviours and do things better. So, once again, full credit to the players to be able to do that. I've asked them some questions and set them some challenges, but in the end, they say yes or no. They do it or they don't. So, so far they've been able to follow most of my instructions pretty well.
How much difference is going to be next week if you get Tippett and Walker with that sort of supply?
Tippett and Rutten?
Tippett and Walker playing.
Oh, sorry.
Unless you want to put Rutten there.
Oh, no, I thought you meant coming back into the side. Next week will be a challenge for a whole different reason, because what will happen out of tonight, there'll become some expectations. So, we'll go into next week as favourite, and that'll be probably a new experience under the 3 weeks that I've been here. Probably the first couple of games were 50-50, and this week we go in as rank outsider. So each week's a different challenge, and that's the challenge for the group this week, is to be able to get themselves back to the same level they showed tonight. I think the scenario that we find ourselves in, a lot of people want to pat our guys on the back after their efforts, and we need to be really careful that we had a similar situation early in the year when we played Collingwood, and I'm pretty certain we played Melbourne the week after and we were poor. So I think that's the thing I'm talking about when I'm talking about having a satisfaction about losing. So we'll make sure that we do everything we can. We've got a short week, we've got travel, to make sure we prepare really well. Give the Gold Coast the respect that they deserve when we go in and try and play with the same energy and intensity as we did tonight.
Is that the biggest challenge for you, dealing with what they did well and continue to encourage them to do that, not let them get satisfied? Yeah,
look, I spoke to them after the game and made that point to them, and they're bitterly disappointed tonight. Players know when they're in the game, and they were certainly in the game. I think there was we were within a goal at the 20-something minute mark of the last quarter. So, they're really disappointed they didn't win. So there's, I reinforced that to them, but there wasn't too many guys that were happy with the result, and that's the challenge for them this week. Get it right. Sorry? You would suspect so. Kurt trained on Thursday night. Ben has been sick, and lost. I think he didn't get out of bed till Wednesday or Thursday and lost about 4 kilos. So we just didn't want to take any chances with truck. So you would think that those guys would come under consideration. So it's going to be, Richard Douglas was excellent in the SANFL as well. So there's some real selection pressure now, which is something we haven't had for a while.
And John got a knock to the neck. Looks like he's all right.
Yeah, look, Graham finished the game off, which was good. So it looks really early. I think there's a couple of guys who nursing some sore spots, but not many clubs would have players that don't have sore spots at this time of the year. Thanks, guys.